Hello, my name is Jennifer Tywater. I'm the Chief Program Officer at the College Advising Corps, and we are honored today to present to you our best practices around college access and success. And this is one of the first in a large series through the coordinating board and their to and through webinar series. The College Advising Corps is a national nonprofit organization that aims to increase the number of underrepresented students who are applying to, enrolling, and succeeding in higher education. To do this work, we partner with 24 colleges and universities in 14 states to place recent college graduates as advisors in underserved high schools. The College Advising Corps serves communities across the country to provide the advising and encouragement that students need to navigate the college and career pathways. Our college advisors collaborate with counselors and teachers and administrators to tie college going into the life of a school, devise creative approaches to reach and connect with students, and most importantly, open the eyes of students and their families to post-secondary options. Advisors supplement the work of existing college-going infrastructures at the high school. From navigating college admissions to securing SAT and ACT fee waivers and assisting students and their families with FAFSA applications, our advisors become champions for students as they navigate the post-secondary options. We are excited today to present to you some best proven practices of our 4 Texas programs who've been working in schools in Texas for the last 4 years. These are practices that you can easily replicate into your schools even if you don't have a full-time college advisor. Thanks so much, and we look forward to talking with you soon.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm Matt Burkhalter from the TCU College Advising Corps, and I'm here to share with you some best practices. But first, let me give you a little bit of an overview of this presentation we're about to deliver. Today, we're going to talk about the College Advising Corps' key performance indicators that we use in our high schools to help more kids go to and through for college. Then we're going to talk about best practices that we have found help kids and lead to college enrollment within our schools. And then we'll discuss some of the actual program activities we've tried out in high schools that have been successful for us. First, these are our key performance indicators. There's 8, and you'll notice that we have them in 2 different sections. Our first is our best fit and match category, which lays the foundation. And above that are the 3 that are necessary for college enrollment. All of this is built on that foundation of best fit and college match. So those 5 components include college campus visits, college representative visits, college fairs, workshops, and scholarships. Now, our philosophy, again, is rooted in best fit and college match. Fit is highly unique and requires meeting with each student, discussing their interest and what they want to study. The right college or university should fit the student's geographical, social, and academic needs. Match can be ascertained by examining a student's GPA and SAT score, and then comparing that information to the acceptance criteria for colleges the student is interested in attending. Now, here's a quick hint to help you out. When ascertaining a student's match and looking at information about, say a university school range, they're typically reporting the middle 50%. So there are times where a student could be reaching if they're just outside of that, so keep that in mind. Our first KPI we're going to discuss is college visits. And this is when students have the opportunity to actually, with their feet on the ground, explore a college or university for themselves. To organize a college visit, you're going to have to recruit your administrator to approve it, your counselors or teachers to assist as chaperones. You're going to have to go through the process of getting the event secured at the university or college, getting on their calendar, as well as reserving the buses that you're going to need and thinking about things like lunch, arrival time, or any kind of permission forms you have. It's good to be as organized as you can from the get-go because at a college visit, it can be a little bit difficult to keep track of all of your students. Our next KPI is college representative visits. These are visits from university or community college admissions officers who will visit your campus to meet with students and talk to them about their institution. These representatives are typically very warm and friendly and very happy to schedule around your calendar. However, they've got big calendars and they've got a lot of schools that they're going to be visiting. it's very important, especially if you're in a rural area, to think about clustering visits with other schools. Typically in rural areas, it can be hard to get representatives from some colleges to visit, but if you work with nearby high schools to put together a calendar where they can hit multiple high schools within the same day, you can increase the value of their visits. Now, when you're organizing the college rep visit, be sure to think about a space, either in the cafeteria, a hallway, or even a classroom setting. Think about who you want to call out for the visit and how you're going to, organize some activity for the students. Typically, your representatives will take care of this for you, but it's good to think ahead. Our next KPI is college fairs. College fairs can be really fun, and they're going to help you reach deeper into the school than just the junior and senior class. So to organize a college fair, you might start by contacting an admissions officer organization like in the Dallas area DARN or in the state of Texas, TACRO. They can help you contact admissions officers all at once and let them know that when you're going to be hosting your campus college fair. It might be a good idea to plan these over the summer for the fall. Many of the admissions officers' calendars book up very quickly with fairs. The ideal time is typically in the spring or October before kids have really started putting in too many of their college applications. Typically, we see 40 to 60 college representatives attend these college fairs, which can be in your cafeteria or gymnasium or maybe at a district facility. A really great idea during college fairs is to come up with some sort of activity for the students, especially the freshmen or sophomores, to get them to engage with more college representatives. There's all kinds of resources online that you can find as far as college bingo or Jeopardy to help kids go from table to table. Our next KPI we're going to discuss is workshops. And workshops are a really great opportunity for a teacher or counselor to be creative. You can cover virtually any topic or special interest that you're interested in working with your students or fill in any holes that you feel that they need. So, for instance, you can have a college workshop in a classroom with kids after school to discuss majors or career opportunities and try to start working on their college vocabulary. Another great idea is to discuss college success and best practices for first-year students so that they can be successful their freshman year. These are also great opportunities to work on, say, a Pacific scholarship or to do SAT or ACT prep work. The last KPI I'm going to discuss is scholarships, and it's probably the most obvious one. Scholarships are very important to our students so that they can receive outside financial aid to assist them with their college search. It can be a really important component, but a lot of people don't start until their senior year. Working with freshmen, sophomores, and juniors on scholarships early can help them build the practice to where they're more ready to especially go after those scholarships their senior year. There are a lot of really phenomenal scholarships out there. It's best that you are tailoring what a student's needs are to what's available for them. Next, Sarah is going to discuss our final 3 KPIs.
Thank you, Matt. Hi, I'm Sarah Ramos, the Project Director with Trinity University College Advising Corps, and I'll be talking about these 3 essential KPIs that lead into college enrollment. SAT registrations are not only necessary for college access, but a great indicator for match and fit. Students taking SAT and ACT exams in the spring of their junior year allows them to be ready for applying to colleges their senior year. Our advisors help registered interested students for exams while also helping low-income students utilize fee waivers. Focusing on students to register for these tests earlier also gives students the opportunity to meet early and regular college applications. College application season begins quickly in the year. Therefore, we work to adjust a timetable at our schools to ensure that more students apply in the fall of their senior year versus the spring. This gives them more time to consider financial aid options and apply for scholarships. Advisors help students to apply to 3 to 6 colleges and universities that match their academic and geographical needs. Another important component is FAFSA and TASFA completion. Financial aid is critical for student success. It is often the missing component that prevents students from attending college. FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, is open to college students that are U.S. citizens, U.S. national, and eligible non-citizen. TASFA, the Texas application for student financial aid, is filled out by non-citizens who are classified as Texas residents and may receive aid through their state institutions. Implementing these key elements will help you increase SAT, ACT registrations on your campus through pre-test presentations, mandatory registrations, pre-workshops, and reminders. Pre-test presentations help students get prepared and familiarize themselves with test requirements and why it's important to take the test prior to college enrollment. Mandatory registration. Some campuses incorporate SAT, ACT registration as a requirement for graduation activities and can ensure student registration. Introducing students to pre-workshops such as the free resources as Khan Academy through College Board or the Princeton Review allows students to take practice tests free of charge. Khan Academy gives students instant feedback on their progress and provides students with tips and video lessons on their website. The most important thing, I think, to help prevent absenteeism on test days is reminders. So just implementing a simple postcard or reminder goes a long way towards ensuring students to remember test date, time, and location. Always keep a copy of each individual SAT, ACT ticket and file in case a student loses their ticket. Sending students a copy of their ticket the day before their scheduled exam can be a helpful reminder for them. Increasing college applications. Filling out college applications can be an overwhelming process for students, and providing additional support in this process can ease students' concerns and prevent students from undermatching. Undermatching can occur when students do not apply to colleges that are academically fit to attend. Utilizing your Apply Texas Counselor Suite to track students will help you focus on students you need to target and complete and submit an application. Before and after school availability will also allow students the flexibility to start and finish their application process and address any questions they may have. Utilizing a Reach Target Safety Worksheet will help assist students with their school selection process, as mentioned, and help prevent undermatching. So talking about Reach School, we're typically talking about a dream school that's highly competitive. Target school is going to meet their academic credentials, and a safety school will exceed academic credentials. So once again, it's important that we look at matching them to the best fit. Increasing FAFSA and TASFA submissions. When talking to students about college, we know the #1 concern in applying is the financial burden. Utilizing your Apply Texas Counselor Suite to track FAFSA will help you target and encourage students to complete this necessary step for college. Financial literacy workshops will educate parents and students on the cost of attendance and financial procedures in college access. FAFSA and TASFA drives during school allows parents and students to attend and complete their application with additional time. As indicated before, reminders go a long way. So reminders for parents ensures parents are aware of deadline dates, encourages them to reach out to you for any questions or concerns throughout the process. And lastly, seeking resources and training. Utilizing resources provided on the Federal Student Aid website through the Office of the U.S. Department of Education will prepare and help assist students and parents with federal and state financial aid applications. It's important to complete FAFSA and TASFA applications before state and university priority deadlines. Other resources you can seek would be the college and university websites, as well as financial aid websites. Thank you. Now I'll pass it along to my colleague, Ms. Paola Rabago.
Hello, my name is Paola Rabago, and I am with the UT Austin program with the College Advising Corps, and I'm here to talk about the best practices that lead to a better and higher college enrollment. First, we like to ensure that our students are applying early to college, so we like to emphasize and really just encourage our advisors to encourage their students to apply as early as September. Usually some students apply in August, which is great, but just starting them out in September would be one of the best practices that we recommend. For the purpose of getting students to start this process early, we meet with district partners as early as August and September to establish goals, yearly calendars, and set goals based off our KPIs. In this meeting, we include our advisors and set accountability for the goals needed to be met. We train the advisors based on our best fit, best match model. as previously mentioned by my colleagues Matt and Sarah. And we provide them with the necessary tools and data that they need to use when emerging into their school. Tools such as access to Apply Texas Counselor Suite, a deadline calendar, set goals with them, etc., are some of the materials that we provide them with to make sure they are emerging in their school and being a strong advisor since the beginning. We are constantly providing ongoing training and support to our advisors, as well as the necessary tools needed to support them in the college enrollment process. Throughout the month, we provide constant tracking of our 8 KPIs. We are constantly tracking and evaluating their rates, as well as brainstorming new ideas that can help increase the numbers in our KPIs. We use this through our tracking platform, which we call GRACE. We work to adjust the timetable at our schools to ensure that more students are applying to college in the fall of their senior year versus the spring. This gives them more time to consider financial aid options and apply for scholarships, which ultimately increase their chance of attending and enrolling college. In addition to the previously mentioned best practices, there are a series of events and workshops that take place during the year to keep the student engaged and educated in the college process. Some of these events are district initiatives. Of course, we are aware that application rates start to increase when the district is in support of this. Many of our districts make it mandatory for all students to apply to a community college and a qualifying college near their campus for any senior. Districts also provide incentives such as campus visits, movie days, etc., that keep the students motivated to apply and enroll in an institution of higher education. We have also found it successful when districts provide a semester-long seminar which focuses on ACT, SAT testing strategies for juniors. Along with district initiatives, advisors host application drives. We also encourage them to also have a flexible schedule and meet with students before and after school. We also provide students with a Reach Target Safety worksheet, which is an easy process to walk a student through the school selection process and to help them select best fit, best match schools. In addition, college partnership is another of our best practices that help increase college enrollment. Many colleges and universities have established programs and dedicated staff to assist with college application drives. Community colleges can also help your students complete institutional apps and will sometimes assist with Apply Texas drives. Many university admissions officers are willing to volunteer for Apply Texas drives, as are members of TRIO programs such as Talent Search and Upward Bound. Alumni visits are also a successful best practice, as students can really visualize themselves and relate to these students now in college. We also encourage our advisors to celebrate acceptances. We want to acknowledge all the students' success and keep them motivated for next steps, which is why we encourage events that acknowledge the students that have worked hard to achieve their goals. So we have found that when advisors send their students a list of the qualifying universities or college that they can apply to, this helps our students become more encouraged and excited about these universities, and therefore they start researching these institutions, and their chance of applying to these colleges and attending increases just because they are paired up with the right institution. Advisors send an email or an invitation to all top 10%, 11 to 25%, 25 to 50%, and list universities they are eligible for to encourage them to apply. Our collaboration with Gentek's Application Week and FAFSA Month have been very successful with our campuses, as some districts have adopted this as a criteria for all high schools, even those that don't have an advisor. Gentek is a college awareness movement sponsored by the Higher Education Coordinating Board, and you can learn more about it by surfing the web to gentex.org. We also encourage our advisors to create partnerships with teachers, as they can easily assign a scholarship essay or a university application essay as part of their class curriculum. Furthermore, rep visits are essential to exposing the students to what each university has to offer, so we are tactful on who the advisor invites to a specific rep visit. We do not want to undermatch. Scholarships is a best practice we like to start early on in the semester, as students should apply to most scholarships possible to help pay their way for college. And lastly, we also like to focus on our summertime. We understand that this is a pivotal time for our students as they get out of high school and they fall into this sort of gap where they have no counselors or anybody there to guide them. So we like our advisors to really provide support at the end of the year by providing material that is helping them kind of keep getting prepared for college. And this ultimately prevents our summer melt from happening and encourages them to keep attending to college and not fall through the crack. And now my colleague Marcus will talk to you about CAC programming and activities.
Thanks, Paula. My name is Marcus Cooper. I'm the Senior Program Director at the Texas A&M chapter of the College Advising Corps. And today I get to present on the programming and activities section of our presentation. So for us, the first and most important thing is in the beginning of the fall semester, we focus on SAT and ACT assistance. It's important for us to work with our seniors primarily in the fall semester to start their registration process, to make sure that they've registered for multiple exams. But in that process, one of the key things is working through them with the fee waivers, test registration, and actually attending the exam itself. And so what we found is one of the problematic parts of getting our students to take the exam is getting them to the test. So we work with our schools in creative ways to have them bus to test sites. We work on care packages at the school level where we put together pens and pencils and even borrowed calculators so that they can have the items they need to be ready for the test. And our staff makes sure that they're at the test sites to kind of make sure that they have someone that they know as a friendly face when they're getting to that test site before they take the exam. So this is just one component, but in the spring semester, what we also work with is the junior students, making sure that in that spring semester, we're getting juniors registered early. We want them to get that first standardized test underneath their belt so that when they enter into their senior year, they already have one of their standardized tests taken. This next slide is about college fairs. And in the earlier part of the presentation, we discussed this briefly and the importance of the college fair component in the college process. And so for us, in terms of that kind of creative atmosphere that we want to bring to the college fair portion of our jobs, we try and do different creative things at the schools. And so one of the things that we do with college fairs is we try and have them throughout different portions of the day. Maybe we have some in the morning, some in the middle of the day, some in the evening where we can really get the parent component to be involved in the college fairs. We also want within the college fairs to have things that we prep the students on. And this is something that's a little unique that maybe you haven't thought of doing before, where we give them questions that they should be asking, how they should dress when they go to a college fair. They should target schools that they have an area of interest in when they're at the college fair. And so what this does is this translates into bringing more universities to your campus, because now college representatives are going to go back to their peer group and they're going to reference your high school and say, we went to that school, the students were engaged, they asked great questions, they knew about our campus before they ever got to our table, and they were asking specifics that weren't just on our website, they had dug deeper into our schools. And this is going to end up fostering more representatives contacting your schools that don't necessarily want to be part of the college fair, but they actually want to come to your school on their own and do college visits. The college application part is where we live in the majority of the fall semester. And so as we've referenced in earlier parts of the presentation, one of the things that we want to do is we want to continue to move the needle in when we're getting students to apply. And we've seen that the further we can move into August and September and October with amplifying the number of applications that we can get students to submit, the better they are and the more they have opportunity to pick and choose between schools. And so with the college applications, we again, and you're going to hear creative throughout the course of my part of the presentation, we try and do different fun activities in the schools to kind of build and foster students wanting to apply. So we do things like the slide that you see where it says no trick or treat until you complete, where we might provide candy that students have applied before Halloween. We do no pie before you apply, so that they do that before Thanksgiving and so that we're getting that kind of ingrained in them when they apply for applications. And then